So today I want to show you this card, which I'm calling a 5x7 sloping zigzag card. Now, I haven't seen this card before. It's something I sort of came up with. So if someone's already made it, please let me know. But I haven't seen this particular one. What I like about it is it's got no wastage to it at all. And so you've got, when you open it up, you've got that. So it could be quite useful for if you want to make like a little Arctic scene or whatever. But it's quite a cool little card. I quite like it. I also show you in the video how you can turn it into a gift card holder as well. There's a couple of options you can do. In fact, there's more than a couple, but I show you a couple of options. It obviously folds flat to fit in a 5x7 envelope. If you want to make this as an A5 card, you can literally do exactly the measurements that I'm doing. I would say just using obviously an A5 card blank, because A5's cards are only 3/4 of an inch wider and 1 1/4 inch taller. So they're not that much different to a 5x7. So what I would say is if you want to do an A5 version, then you could maybe change the distance here. But to be honest, well, yeah, maybe do, instead of, I do 2.5, but maybe do 3 inches. And then everything else is pretty much, you can probably work out your mats and layers from that. But your score lines and whatever is pretty much the same as a 5x7. So you can easily size this up to an A5 if you want to. So yeah, so I use, as I said, the papers from my Etsy and Amazon, that from In Love Art Shop. So yeah, I think that's about everything we need to say. So let's get into it. Okay, so for this card, you're going to need a piece of base card that is 7 by 10.5. And you're going to score it at 5 inches and at 10 inches. And then what you want to do is, I'm actually going to flip it over and then fold it because I want the tab piece to be on the front. Okay, so you want to score it so that when you open it, this tab is the front piece. And then what we're going to do is I'm actually going to fold along that tab. So we've got like a zigzag basically. You've got concertina type card. So you've basically got that. Okay, so you've got your tab at the front. Just going to open it up and bring in my cutting mat. So along this score line from the bottom up, you're going to measure up 2.5 inches and then make a little mark. And then what you want to do is everything above that 2.5 inches you want to cut off. So what I would do is get your score line, get it right up. You want to make sure you cut your score line off. I'm just going to extend that mark so I can actually see it because I'm on dark card. It's a bit tricky. So we're going to go all the way down until we get to that line like that. And then we are just going to trim this off. You can notch it if you want or just do it straight. It doesn't really matter because of what we're going to do. You might want to notch this bottom side, but I'm going to put tape on first before I start notching it. Then what we want to do is I'm going to turn this over just because I'm going to draw. In fact, let me just cut straight away. I was going to draw a line, but we may as well just cut it straight away. So we're going to cut from the top of where you've just cut. We're going to cut from there to this 5-inch line here. Now what I like about this card is you actually use this piece. So this piece does not get wasted. Normally this would be like, chuck it, we don't need it. But we do need it for this one, which is great. So then we're going to turn that over like that. So then you've got your kind of zigzag. And then what this is going to do is this was like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to flip it over this way so that you've got your 5-inch bit along the bottom. And this is going to stick onto here. So we want to go ahead and put red tape or wet glue onto that bit there. And then I'm just going to peel that off. And we're going to take this, make sure we got the right around. And we're going to line it up in that corner there. Line it up along the edge and obviously along the bottom. And so that is your piece stuck into place. Okay, so what we need to do now is sort out our mats and layers. So we've got 3 mat pieces that are 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. One of them is going to go in here like this. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that on. And on top of that, we need a pattern piece that is 4.5 by 3 3/8, which is going to go at the top, and a white piece that is 3 inches by 4.5 that goes on the bottom like that. So I'm going to go ahead now and just stick those pieces in. Okay, so that's that bit done. So we need to deal with this bit here. You don't have to put a pattern here if you don't want to, but I'm going to put a pattern mat on. It does make it thicker, obviously, but I just felt like it needed it, and it also then helps me with the front piece. So anyway, so that's that. So then what we want to do is I'm going to go ahead and sort, obviously, this bit and that bit out. So I've got 2 pieces of pattern paper. Now, I wanted to put the star one at the bottom here, and this one is going to go on here. So what I'm going to do is take my mat piece. Obviously I said you had 3 of these, so I'm going to take my mat piece, I'm going to lay it into position, which is there, and then I'm going to turn it over very carefully like that, and I'm just going to draw on the back of here, and then I'm going to cut this out, but obviously just make it a little bit bigger than it needs to be. So I'm just going to come just down from that line a little bit, so we've got a kind of border, the same kind of border going on all of them. So I'm going to bring this back into play again and just put that on and just lay it and make sure it looks right, and it does, it looks pretty good. So because I know that that is now correct, I'm going to take this one and we're going to put them so that they're blank side to blank side together, and I'm going to go ahead and draw down this line and cut it again, because I know that that is the correct angle, and because I've turned it round now, it's going to be the correct angle for the other side. You need to make sure you definitely put either pattern to pattern, well, you know, pattern to pattern, or blank side to blank side, depending on which way, depending on what you're doing. Okay, so this is now going to fit on the back, and it does fit on the back. So next up, we're going to bring the pattern in that I'm using for that inside piece, which is this one, and I'm going to put it just on the back for now, turn it over, just get it on the back in the right kind of place, which is kind of there. As you can see, I've put tape on the back already. Then we're going to flip this over like that, trying to keep it in place, and I'm going to draw along here. Now I know this is the right side that I'm drawing on, but I'm not going to actually need to use any of that I'm, you know, that I'm using. So that's the actual line of where the mat card ends. So I need to cut just below that line, which is about there. I have to be careful because I've got tape on the back, so it might slip and slide around on my desk. So that's going to go on there. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that down. You do need this piece, so don't get rid of that. So let me go and stick this down. So that's that bit done. I'm going to put it to one side and we'll stick it in a minute. So then we need this one, and I was intending, I think, to have this going the other way, so that then we don't have to worry about the fact that this line is going to be off. It's not the same as this, you know, it's not the same angle. So I kind of wanted it to be like that, so then you haven't got to worry about this. But anyway, I didn't manage to organise that, so whatever. One thing you could have done as well, which I should have done just now, is that pattern piece we just cut out. I could have used that as a template for this. So we are going to do the same again. So I'm just going to turn this over. I'm going to put that on the back like that. Make sure it's pretty much lined up. And then spin it round. As you can see what I'm saying about the lines. That does kind of bother me, but anyway. There's not much I can do about it now. I'm not going to cut out another piece. So then we're going to go just to the below that, so we've got a nice border. So you can see what I was saying there about it being slightly off, but whatever, it's fine. We're not going to be too picky. Then we're going to go ahead and stick that one down. Right, so that's those 2 pieces. So I'm going to go ahead now and just stick those straight in where they need to be on the cards. We haven't got so many pieces floating around our desk. Okay, so that's as far as we've got. There we go, got the inside and we've got that bit. Now this bit here, we want to use this piece, which obviously needs cutting down, which is fine. And we also want to use this piece, which is our mat that we cut off the back piece. These 2 pieces, if you want, you can use them because they could go behind here. Obviously my pattern's upside down, so I'm not going to use them, but if you wanted to, you could use those. I would best to start with an anyway up pattern. That's the best thing to do, because then you haven't got to worry about, you know, getting it the right way up and the rest of it. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this up. I'm going to turn it kind of round for now, lay it on, because that's going to go there on that front there. And then we are just going to, I'm just going to draw a line. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a line and hope for the best. I think probably about there we'll do it, because it's quite slippery being mirror. So about there. And then we're going to trim that down. And then I'm going to take my pattern piece and repeat the same thing on that. In fact, I'm going to do the backwards thing because I've got the tape on it already. It's super slippy. So I think I'm going to put that on like that, and then we'll draw our line on the back, and that will probably work better. So I'm going to go ahead now and stick this onto here. Okay, so then you can make a decision. So at this point, you can either stick this actual pocket here, so your gift card goes in there, or if you don't want it to be a gift card holder at all, you can just stick this straight down and then you're done. So it's a Z fold. Or if you want it to be a Z fold, but you don't want the pocket to be there, you want it to be like a Z fold, you can keep it as a Z fold, and then this piece here turns into your pocket. So you just literally put glue down this line and glue down this side and stick it on, and just leave the rest so you can put your gift card in the bottom there. So what I mean is you can either have your gift card so it tucks in here like this, or you can have it so it tucks in between the mat and the pattern like that, or you can leave it out and just have it as a Z fold card. I am going to put it in here like that. In fact, I'm probably going to leave it out. I think I'm going to leave it out, but those are the options. If you want to make it as a gift card, you can. I'm going to leave it out and just add this layer straight on. Right, so then all we need to do is add our greeting. Now, I've got this die, and this is from In Love Art Shop. So use my code ICED30 up to the end of January 2025, and that will get you 30% off your order. After that, you can just use my normal code, which is ICED Images, which gets you 20% off. So this is going to go, I'm going to put this on the front here, because I think that looks quite good there. You could put it in the middle. I quite like the middle. I don't know if I like the middle or if I like the, no, I don't want the top. It's either going to be the middle or the front. I think I might go for the middle, actually. I think I prefer the middle. Yeah, might go for the middle. Kind of didn't want to have it. No, I think I'm going to go for the middle. Quite like it on the middle. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stick it on there. So there you have your finished cards. Obviously that's crossed out that. I quite like the fact that you've got this, when it stands up, it just sort of just kind of there, and you're like, well, hang on, where's that, how's that attached? It doesn't make sense to your brain. It's like it's floating. And obviously we all know it's just got the little tab, and obviously when you open it up, and I thought this would be quite fun if you had little die cut shapes of like people sledding. You could have them sledding down the hill. You could also have houses behind the back, have a little mountain scene. Yeah, so it's really cool. And obviously you've got space to write on the inside. If you wanted more space, you could make that whole section, or you can make this whole section white, or you could just write on the back. There's really lots of options you could do. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to go and check out my Amazon shop, my Amazon pads, and also my Etsy shop as well, and my digital kits. Don't forget to go and check out In Love Art Shop and use my code ICED30 up to the end of January 2025 to get yourself 30% off. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and we'll see you all again next time. Bye!